Oh, all right. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I thank our host. My name's CJ Lehman. So I got added on Facebook the other day by what I thought, looked like a hot chick. You see the little picture, you can't zoom in, so you want to see more. So the more I start noticing, I start flipping through the pictures. I'm stoked, because I just keep seeing all these pictures of her rack, and it's absolutely perfect. So I keep flipping. So I get to the fifth picture, and I realize, the picture's back a little bit. You can see the face and everything, and I noticed that she kind of had an Adam's apple and a 5 o'clock shadow. So I did what any normal person would do, obviously. I kind of was in my room, and I made sure the door was locked. No, I was pissed though. I was actually really pissed, and I remember I called my buddy and I was telling him about it. I was actually really mad, and he's like, "Oh, well, what are you mad for? What, you mad because you got tricked? That it was a dude?" And I'm like, "No, I'll tell you why I'm mad. Because his tits were better than my girlfriend's. They were absolutely perfect." And so anyway, I think that relationships are tough. Especially. You get in the beginning, you're trying to prove yourself. Everything's got to be right, And I remember in the beginning of my relationship, there's always so much judgment from the family. It's a lot of pressure, especially for the guys, because you have a lot to live up to. There's a lot that you need to, prove to the family that you can, you're gonna take care of your little girl. So I remember meeting her father for the first time, and I remember, we were in New Jersey, and he comes out. Guy looks at me and he goes, just so you know, I ran a background check on you. A background check. Well, the kicker to this story is that this guy's telling me that he ran a background check on me. And he's wearing an ankle bracelet. Yeah. Because I know my reaction. I was, he was like, "Yeah, I did a background check on you." And I'm looking and I'm like, is that an ankle bracelet? Like, really? Blinking red light, big black box, seatbelt wrapped around his leg, whole 9 yards. But there was, our relationship was pretty wild. We weren't really your normal couple. It was a major size difference. So just to give you a mental picture, the movie Twins, I was Danny DeVito in that relationship. Mentally, visually. She was just a smart one though, I'll tell you that. She's a smart girl. She never wanted to hide anything from me. She just put it up high. I remember one of the first times, I was in her house and I was wanting to warm up some of my food. So I'm in the kitchen. I'm searching for a microwave. I can't find a microwave anywhere. I'm looking around. So I scream out, "Babe, you got a microwave?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's in the kitchen. Right when you walk in, you'll see it." I'm getting pissed. I'm searching left to right. I'm searching everything. I cannot find the freaking microwave. So I think for a second. I look up. It's on top of the freaking fridge. Yeah. That was our relationship kind of a lot of ways in a nutshell, And I try not to think back about a lot of our sexual experiences, or rape as I'd like to call it. She used me like a dirty old plunger. I tell you, a lot of pressure. And just advice to any guys thinking of dating a woman that compares in size to Shaq. Always have an exit, quick exit, strategy, route, whatever, however you want to put it. I think. I think a lot of times, it's funny that, when you have relationships, there's always added variables, and a lot of the times, like women have little dogs, and sometimes those dogs can put strain on your relationship, especially if that dog, like for instance, my ex's dog, her name was Luna. Which I'm convinced to this day that was short for lunatic, because she was psychotic. That little dog was a filthy little pervert, and let me elaborate on that. This dog would steal her dirty panties, um, go and hide somewhere like a little crackhead about to get its fix, and would sorry, would start to chew the crotch out of the panties. And it was crazy because you got to feel a little bit intimidated and kind of angry because it's almost like that dog is like getting a little piece of your girl, because that little satanic devil would once in a while would like hover out from underneath the bed and look up and just like letting you know and all of a sudden glide back under with those panties in her mouth. I hated that dog. I really did. That dog was a filthy little creature. I know that, excuse me while you drink here. I know that, excuse me. Sorry. So, I hated that dog. Weird little creature. Relationships. Since I'm talking about it, my ex and relationships and everything. I know that, men are stupid. Like, we really are. We do a lot of dumb, retarded things. Not just once, but like all the time. Especially in relationships, women are on a different level. Men, we're thinking chess. Women, they're thinking checkers. There's really no like in between bounds. Men, we're just stupid. Really, I mean, our thoughts are retarded. And it's funny when you think about that, like chess. Which it's kind of a great comparison to life with women, because if you think about it, they say it's a game for kings made by kings, right? I disagree, 100%. What is the most powerful piece in chess? The queen. The queen can do whatever the hell she wants. She can move wherever, take anybody out, carnage everywhere, just taking pieces out, no problems, right? What's the king allowed to do? One move at a time. One spot. While the queen's just doing whatever the hell she wants to, just killing people, taking people out, no prisoners. It's the truest comparison to life I can come up with. Women they'll take your soul. I swear to God, they really will. They are, don't get me wrong. Women are a lot of things. Women, they can budget. They are beautiful. They smell good. They are soft. They are sensual. They are mental terrorists. I think, if you let a woman, and I'm not a woman hater by any means. I think women are great. I just think that they get so wrapped up around the dumbest little things, and men are so simple. We're on one thought, we're on to the next one. One thought, we're on to the next one. It's very simple for us. Like, we go for a pair of shoes, we know what size, exactly what we're getting. We walk in, we walk out with the box. Women, it's a day event, and they need a whole entire freaking closet or section of the house just to store their shoes. I mean, gives you a level of comparison to what, where we're at. And then, continues on. Part of life. I also think, it's crazy, because we bust our ass. Most of us. I mean, I don't know. Times are changing. Women are taking a power role nowadays. They're making more money, but for the most part, men, we still have to go out. We have to work hard. And I think, personally, me, I'm a tower climber for a living. So, deadliest job in the world by fatality rate. Most people don't know that. That's a fact. And a lot of people always ask me, like, are you scared to be a tower climber? Are you scared you're going to fall? And I'm like, well, hell yeah, we're scared. But, and then when the actual death rates come out, people always ask, and they're like, how come so many guys are dying? And let's look at a little different way to think about that. They're dying. Most of these guys have a slew of children, a rap sheet as long as Schindler's List, and they got a fat 350-pound biker girlfriend that beats them. You think they fell? Yeah, I don't think most of them probably jump. Fat life insurance policy. But I think that there's certain days I've been out on the job, and I remember a guy used to climb with Tommy, and I remember the one day his girlfriend had beat him up the night before, and he drank too much the night before, got hung over, showed up late to work, just having a bad day. I remember I climb up on the tower and I'm looking at him, and we're about 350, 400 feet up, and I look over at him and he's all black and blue and his lips are still swelled up from the night before, and he just looks miserable, and I can tell he's not tied off. So I'm like, yo, Tommy, dude, you gonna snap in? He's like, hell no, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, all right, well, think about that. He's got to go back home to his Shrek of a wife that's gonna beat him and take all his money. If I get pregnant again, get him for more alimony, more child support. It's a horrible cycle that we go through. And then also, it's funny. I just came from Kentucky, and while I was in Kentucky, I had the chance to go duck hunting. And for those of you who don't know, duck hunting, there's a big duck dynasty thing. So that that's kind of what I'm talking about. So anyway, I go out. I'm off the game reserve, and I go hunting. And the reserve has a limit for the day. It was 3 ducks. Don't know why, but that was the limit. So I got my 3 ducks. I'm going back to my truck, and the game warden pulls up. Game warden pulls up and says, boy, we have an ordinance in this here park. I'm going to need to check to make sure you got all your licenses and, everything you're supposed to have, all your paperwork together. You mind? I said, no, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. And everybody told me, especially me, I have a record. I'm a little paranoid when cops come around. So I went above and beyond getting everything. Let's just say that. So the guy grabs the first duck, and a little unprofessional in my opinion, but he jams his finger up the duck's asshole, takes a big smell, and proceeds to tell me that that's Kentucky duck. Who'd have thought? And I'm like, this is kind of nasty, but anyway. He's like, do you got a license for Kentucky duck? And I was like, well, yes, sir, I do. So I pull out, I give it to him. Guy looks at the license, makes sure it's all good, gives it back to me, grabs the second duck off my belt, takes his middle finger, jams it up the duck's asshole, takes a big old smell, and he goes, that's California duck. You got a license for California duck? And I was like, actually, yes, sir, I do. I gave it to him. And I was pretty glad I was prepared. He looks at it, he's frustrated now. Grabs the third duck off my belt, jams his thumb up the duck's asshole, takes a big old smell of it, and he goes, that's Tennessee duck. You got a license for Tennessee duck? And I was like, actually, yeah. Yes, I do. And I give it to him. He's just, I watched the guy's color and his face change. He's pissed. And he's like, you know what, boy? What are you, some kind of smart ass? Where are you from? And I was like, why don't you tell me? That was my duck hunting experience. Hold on, let me grab a drink real quick. And, oh boy. Anyway, I recently, Christmas just passed. It was my son's second Christmas, but his first Christmas where he could actually knew what was going on, kind of. So I sent him a present. They were unbelievably fantastic in so many ways. They were shoes that every time you take a step, they squeak like a squeak toy for a dog. So I was pretty ecstatic when I saw him, because this is a win-win situation in every facet when you look at it, because he's going to think they're the coolest thing ever. They're going to drive her family absolutely nuts. And if you think about it, it's a free tracking device. It's GPS. It's like a bell on a cat. You know what I mean? Squeak, 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 squeak. You ain't losing that kid. So she sends me a video of him opening them and figuring out that they squeak. And let me just tell you, he puts them on and he takes his first step and squeaking. It was like a caveman discovering fire was his reaction. It's pretty funny. And so now, he's proceeding to, he's not even worried about walking. Now he's just, he's trying to stomp his feet. It just looks horrible. He's not even attempting to walk now. He's just, he looks drunk. He's bent over trying to see them squeak and whatnot, like a drunk old man falling all over the place. But it was kind of funny because, it was kind of like, at the point when you realize, like, once kids start walking, they're gone. They are not anywhere to be seen. They're just like, they take a couple steps here and there and they're wobbly. As soon as they get it down, they are running. You you better do some cardio because they will wear you out, and it's like chasing Rambo. You know what I mean? Like once you like all of a sudden you like pet, 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 and you're like, where the hell was that coming from? You know what I mean? You hear footsteps again like pet, 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 and you're like, you're looking for the kid. Well, not anymore because now it's like squeak, 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 squeak. You're like, living room, got it. Yeah, we know where he is. And like I said, it's free GPS. A little stress off your back. Grab some water again real quick. Well, anyway, yeah, well, that's gonna be it, I guess.